I'm officially inviting everyone to the upcoming masterclass that I'm going to be hosting on Saturday, November 29th at 7 p.m. Eastern. So in this masterclass, I'm going to talk about the 2025 market endgame. Okay. And this masterclass, I'm going to talk about are we going to get a mega rally, the stock market, the crypto market, and the commodities market, gold, silver, Bitcoin, and the stock market in general, or are we going to get the great reset? So in this masterclass, the main thing that I'm going to be talking about is that the main highlights are going to be what is the year-end roadmap for stocks, commodities, and crypto. And then I'm going to talk about the AI boom and the AI bubble burst. Like, are we in a bubble? How is it going to burst very soon? What's going on? What's the macro? What's the economy showing? Is the U.S. economy going into a recession or not? Is the market going to have a big explosive rally into the year end? Everything is going to be answered in this masterclass. And also, I'm going to share what the smart money are doing with their money, how they are positioning for 2026, so that you can close the year on a high note and start the new year on a very strong note. Also, I'm going to be talking about portfolio positioning and strategies that you can use to make sure that you can supercharge your portfolio in 2026. So, this is one of the most important events of 2025. You don't want to miss this out. So, I encourage you to sign up for this free masterclass. The link is in the description below. Click on it, sign up, and then also please share this with your network, your friends and family, anybody that is into investing in the financial markets, into crypto, into stock market, into commodities. Everybody's going to get very insightful information in this masterclass. So I look forward to seeing you guys at the masterclass on Saturday, November 29th at 7 p.m. Eastern. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another insightful video. I hope you guys are doing well. And those in the United States, I wish you guys a happy Thanksgiving in advance. So, what's going on in the stock market? So, currently, the stock market is currently floating up and showing strength and recovering from the sell off from last week. And so far, we've seen a very good rally in the stock market so far. So without much ado, I'll just go straight to the charts and I'll show you guys what is happening in the market. And then we can use that to gauge to see where we are heading, right? Are we heading to new all-time highs, or are we heading to a place where we shall get another crash? So we shall see how that goes on, but I'm going to show you the details on that shortly here. Alrighty, so here we have the SPY. That's the S&P 500 ETF. All right, so here we have SPY. So the SPY last week came all the way on last week came all the way to on Thursday. It sold off and it came all the way to the 100 SMA for the first time in since April, and then it has rallied now. It has given us 3 green candles, and now we are up here now. And the most important thing that I've been watching is that is SPY going to be able to negate the inverse head and shoulders pattern, which was a bearish reversal pattern that I called here a while back, 2 weeks ago? Is this going to be negated? So far, today's close, we are currently trading above this level, above these highs, which tells me that we shall most likely negate that and push to the upside in the coming days. That is tomorrow. Thursday is going to be Thanksgiving weekend in the United States, so the market is going to be closed, and the market is going to be open, I believe, half day on Friday. So with that in mind, like typically what happens is that during the holiday season, when there's holidays or things to do with like Thanksgiving, Christmas, etc., you typically get low volume in the market. And this low volume typically leads to a melting up. So you're going to get that low volume market where, so if you look at this, how do we determine it's low volume? So if you look at this, you can see that the daily volume is still trading below the average, right? The average volume. So as we can see here, we are on a brink of a breakout. So tomorrow, if we're able to trade above this level, this 676 level, above 676 level, SPY is poised to squeeze to this area. So we are going to get here to the next level, 680, and then the next area will be the gap fill here at 683. So based on this, I believe that we are going to get to all-time highs in no time. Okay, so from now to December 12th, I think we shall make new all-time highs and hit a blow off top based on this setup. Like if this rally continues. However, if it stalls out or it fails to blast through this, then we are going to get a sell and we are going to go down and come and fill this gap at some point. But based on what I've seen here so far, and based on the fact that we are going to have a low volume market, I believe that we are going to get that push, that rally, and that squeeze to the upside. Because the guys that move the market, like most of the guys, like the smart money, the hedge funds, most of them are currently on vacation for Thanksgiving. So the guys that have to short the market and cause it to sell, they are not in the office at the moment and they are going to be coming back next week. So by the time they come back, the market could be trading somewhere here at 683, and that will be a fantastic move. So for those that have been following this channel, I mentioned that this bounce was coming. We are going to get this bounce. And why did I call that? I called that because we have this. You see here, this is a critical level. And this coincided with the 100 SMA. So if you look at this in technical analysis is called a double bottom. So one bottom, two bottom. You can even consider this as a triple bottom. And that is a brick wall. So price came in with speed and distance and came in here and bumped his head into this floor and then bounced. So it remains to be seen. It's not out of the woods yet. So it's two things. If SPY is able to break above this upsloping trend line, we get a squeeze to the upside tomorrow, right? Then we are going to get another green day to the upside tomorrow. However, if it fails and it rejects here, then we are going to get a pullback in the market tomorrow. But given that we are in the Thanksgiving holiday season and we are going to be trading a shorter trading week due to the Thanksgiving holiday, I believe that we are going to get that push to the upside. So we shall see how the futures market opens up today, and based on that, we can know whether we are going to push up or not. Okay, and the PPI too came in and it was good. As I mentioned here in this channel, every single time that there's some kind of PPI or CPI into a holiday season, it always comes in good, right? It always comes in friendly and good for the market. Okay, so that is the SPY. So next, we are going to go to QQQ, the tech heavy QQQ. So with QQQ, the trade is pretty straightforward. So here, if we're able to break above this downsloping trend line, we are going to push up to 313. So that's where the battle is going to be. So that is going to be the line in the sand for the bulls and bears, and that's going to be a battleground. However, if price is able to crack above that 613, we are going to get that move to the upside, and we shall most likely fill this gap here to 620. So 620 is a possibility by the end of this week. We shall see. We could see QQQ push up if it's able to break out above this downsloping trend line and this 13 line. However, if it fails, we are going to come down similar to SPY. We are going to come down and possibly test this, fill this gap here, right? So yeah, okay. So that's what I see coming here, and because we have this melt up situation, and we're going to the month of December, which is historically a bullish market due to the holiday season and Santa Claus rally. Basically, what happens is that with interest rate cuts, the possibility of interest rate cuts coming on December 10th, that is going to fuel the market to push up to make new all-time highs. So if I was a betting person, I'll bet that we are going to make new all-time highs pretty soon here. By December 19th, we should make new all-time highs in this market, right? If the rally continues. That is if the rally continues. But if the rally fails and fizzles out, then we are going to come back down, come and fill this gap here, and then possibly retest the lows of this sell-off, right? We are going to retest here possibly. But I believe that based on what I'm seeing so far, this is headed for a rally to new all-time highs and possibly a blow off top. All right, so let's look at the VIX, the volatility index. Oh my goodness, look at the VIX. So if you have been following this channel, I did a video, I believe last week, and I talked about this zone here, this zone. So this type of zone is called a supply zone, right? It's been a critical area where anytime VIX comes, you see that VIX came here, it collapsed. This was 2024 December, it collapsed. It came here as well. In March, it collapsed. It came here, it collapsed. So what happened in the past is going to happen again. And boy, oh boy, look at this. This just cracked and sold off, right? So this, what happened in the past is happening again. So now VIX is selling off, is at 18. So I believe that if we get a further squeeze to the upside in the general market, we can get VIX back to 17 or even lower here to 15, right? That is if this continues. So this, you can see how VIX has crashed at this supply zone. Okay, so that's a critical level for VIX. Okay, so now that we are going down, the lower this goes, the higher the market goes, the stock market rallies. Okay, all right, so now that we've gone through SPY, QQQ, and VIX, let's look at what the IWM is doing. We've not captured IWM here. I'm not capturing IWM here in a while. With interest rate cuts coming, imminent. The market is hopeful for interest rate cuts in December. Fed members on Friday sounded dovish that it looks like they are supportive of a interest rate cut in December. That means that we are going to, if that happens, then it's going to help small caps. So as you can see, the market is always a forward-looking instrument, right? It thinks ahead of time, right? It thinks 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month ahead of time of what is going to happen. So the market is now rallying and pushing up based on the fact that it's already pricing in an interest rate cut in December, right? So I believe that the IWM, like IWM here, the way it's going, IWM could even make new all-time highs in no time. It could even do that early next week because it just has a few more points to go. And this is going to help the small cap stocks rally, right? So I believe that a break above 245, we are going to get that squeeze. 246-ish, we are going to get that squeeze, and this could possibly come to the 252. However, if it fails, we are going to get that sell and pull to the downside, right? So we shall see how this plays out. And if we get that move, if the market is melting up tomorrow, definitely IWM will catch a bit and it's going to push up and continue its momentum. So far, it's giving us this beautiful 3-candle move, and I expect it to get more. So you see here, the volume is increasing. So from tomorrow, I believe we are going to get that increasing volume, which is going to be, this area is going to be a squeeze zone between 245 and 247 is going to be a squeeze zone where once it blasts through that area, it's off to the races. All-time highs is imminent. Okay. All right. So now that we've gone through these ETFs, which stocks am I watching? Which stocks have I seen high probability trade setups on? So the first one that I'm going to talk about is Reddit. Reddit, right? So Reddit gave a very nice move today, right? After breaking this down sloping trend line, it's up today. So tomorrow, what I'm going to be looking at for Reddit is that if Reddit is able to crack above 220, it's going to be off to the races, and this has room to squeeze to 231. And then after 231, it can break out and it can go all the way to 246 and 252, and then all-time highs here. So I believe that Reddit is on its way for a big move to the upside in the coming days into next week and into December. So this is my number one watch here, and I'm going to look to day trade it with the day trading community tomorrow. And we are going to look to capitalize this to the upside and grab some call options on this. Okay. Next one is Tesla. So I believe Tesla is ready for a big run. I believe Tesla is ready for a big run. And I believe that by the time that they cut interest rates on November 10th, if the interest rate decision goes through, I believe that Tesla will be trading at 473-ish, right? And then once it gets to 473, I think this time around, Tesla will have the legs to make new all-time highs. So here's the deal. The deal is that I believe that Tesla will get to all-time highs and make new all-time highs by December 19th. By December 19th, I expect to see Tesla rally to new all-time highs if the general market stays strong. So the first things first is for it to crack above this downsloping trend line. Once it breaks it, it's going to be off to the races and it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful trade. So expect a big squeeze in Tesla coming soon. Do not miss that play because Tesla is a type of stock where once it's moving, it moves explosively. And once it needs first to, the main task is for it to crack this downsloping trend line and also crack above the 50 SMA, which is this red line. Once it does that, it's off to the races. It has nothing but blue skies up there to fill. So I believe that 473 is imminent sometime next week. But I believe by end of next week, we should be around 473. And then from there, we can crack and go to new all-time highs coming up very soon. Okay, so that is it for Tesla. Then the next one that I'm looking at is I'm looking at RDDT. So RDDT, if the small caps index, that's the IWM ETF and the Russell 2000 index show strength, I believe that RDDT will push up and rally up. So right now we're seeing the bottoming effect. So it came down, it consolidated, and it put in a bottoming tail candle, which is a sign of reversal. Okay, so now what we need to see is that if RDDT tomorrow is able to crack above this this 27.18 or $28 level, then it's going to be off to the races and we are going to get to the 20 SMA. So here, this 20 SMA here coincides with this level. So that's going to be an area where it's going to act as resistance. And then from there, if it's able to make it, it's going to push and aim for the 50. And then from there, it can move higher to the upside. But this RDDT is in a quantum computing space. And I believe that with small caps and things waking up and getting to new all-time highs, I believe that is going to benefit RDDT. So why do I like this RDDT play? All right, so let's look at this closely. All right, let's take off the lines. So this was the all-time highs that was in early January, and then it broke out from here. So let me put out the lines. It broke out from here, and then what did he do was that it rallied, and then came back, retracing to the scene of the crime, right? So it's called, in technical analysis, called break and retest. So this was a good area to enter. And then what happened? Guess what we saw here? We saw what? A bottoming tail candle. And this bottoming tail candle, what does it do? It's now pushing up. And tomorrow, if we can get that push above this 27.18 level, this thing is going to be off to the races and it's going to be gone, right? So these are the high probability trades that I'm looking at to trade tomorrow with the day trading team, and also for a swing trading opportunity as well. So I hope this was insightful, and put some comments in the chat, and make sure that you make sure to like the video and also put some comments there and let me know if this was helpful, and also suggest your ticker that you want us to analyze so that I can analyze it in the next video. So happy Thanksgiving to all our American viewers, and we wish you guys all the best on Thursday, and wish everybody all the best here in the upcoming trading days as we get into the end of the month, into December. Have a good day. Bye-bye.